Welcome to Hip Hop Now Podcast. If you're from the future, you know what to do. Get your ass out of here. Don't disrespect the legend. Hip hop is here to stay. Let's get right into the business. What up, y'all? I am your host, Vegas, and this is Hip Hop Now Podcast, a podcast specifically designed to keep you caught up on all things hip hop, music, and culture that happened throughout the week. Big shout out to the subscribers in audio and video form right here on YouTube. If you're watching this video, you like some of the content, you like the shorts, subscribe to the channel, stay locked in for more hip hop content. Not talking about stuff like, whose court case and stuff like that. Really drilling down to the music, the reasons why we love it, news related to the music, some of your favorite artists, and so on and so forth. Let's just keep it on topic. That's all I'm saying. And with that being said, no announcements this week. Big shout out to hiphopdx.com. Double XL Mag, DJBooth.net, and a couple of places where I get some of my stories from. Let's get right into the business, though. Cameron announced recently that he will be releasing a memoir. Let's go to hiphopdx.com to get the details before I tell you how I feel, because how I feel is probably how you feel. This is on hiphopdx.com. Cameron announces he will be releasing a memoir for publishing giant Simon & Schuster after inking a $750,000 deal. The book will chronicle the Dipset legend's rise in hip-hop and late career pivot to being a successful media personality with his own talk shows. Killer Cam's memoir will also take fans behind the scenes on some of the most iconic moments throughout his electric life and career. And here's a quote from Cam. I'm happy to have this deal done. Hopefully the book will be released February of 2026 and that everyone can take something from my memoir when they read it. And really, hold up, I'm looking at this. It says Cameron Inc.'s 6-digit. Okay, whatever. I thought it was a 6-book deal, but it's just 6 digits, which is nothing to sneeze at. Do you want a Cameron book? A memoir? A retelling of his life story and moments and things like that? Hold on, there's a plane flying by. I'm going to close my window. I am definitely interested in this book from the standpoint of Cameron, from what I know as a fan, as a not only a fan of hip hop, but just a fan of his music in general, and being of a certain age where I was there for when he first got on, and the type of music he made and the labels he was a part of. I was there for the Rockefeller situation, when he joined, when he left, all the things there. Rucker Park with Jim Jones getting dropped, people accusing him of running on Jim Jones. When you watch Cam talk, especially when he addresses these stories of the past, he's already given away way too much that could have been sold in a book, to be honest, right? Get people back to reading books, but essentially he's given away some things that I've always wanted to know, right? Via interviews, and all of that's cool. And I'm pretty sure he has more to share in more detail, and not just about gossip and hip hop stuff, but him personally and things that has happened. One thing I've liked about Cam is that he will rap about what he's going through, right? Like when Cam, because some of y'all don't know, Cam used to be like thick, pause, but like, kind of built. He wasn't a skinny dude. And I remember when he lost a ton of weight, and everybody was like, especially back in the 90s, it was one of two things. You have AIDS or you on drugs, one or the other. So people assumed those, but what really happened was he had an illness that caused him to lose weight. IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. He rapped about it in a dope record, to be honest, but it was about his life. So that's what I'm most interested in with Cam, is not only because he has a story to tell that has all these different things that happened in his life, um, including as a celebrity, as a rap star, but he's good at telling his story. He's just really good. So I can't see this book being anything but a buy when it drops. Like buy it when it. This is better than the album. I know some people want an album, but I like sometimes I'd rather hear Cam talk about it than I would like to read about it. And I'm pretty sure there'll be some, I assume, some mention of Jim Jones, who was, part of his life. Cam didn't do Dipset all by himself, and it wasn't Cam and just Jimmy, right? It was the whole crew. So I'll be curious to see his direction. I hope he talks about a lot of these different things that people know or sort of know. Even his own experiences, right? Talking about getting shot in DC and the guy threw up the rock sign, and like I wonder if he's just gonna go there in a memoir. And obviously he'll talk about his mother and that importance and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. Are you? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Next story. Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist have now announced a sequel to their collaborative album, Alfredo. The original Alfredo, I believe, I can't remember when that dropped originally. It had to be maybe 3 years ago. Here's my thoughts on this announcement based off of Alfredo last time. First of all, Alfredo was Grammy nominated. I do remember that part. And I think it's either 2022 or 2023 that it was Grammy nominated. As a big fan of Freddie Gibbs and also being a fan of Alchemist, I was a little underwhelmed, but it had more to do with the production. And when I say that, it's only because Freddie Gibbs at one point, probably like 2020 on, like maybe even 2018, 2019, like he put out a lot of content. So there was like a certain sound, a certain energy behind Freddie Gibbs's music. And Alchemist in recent years had really fallen into this drumless, slow, super slow tempo vibe kind of sound, which to me doesn't mix well with Freddie Gibbs because he has a rapid way of spitting, right? And that's really the best Freddie Gibbs, to be honest. If he has to slow it down, it's still good, but he can really only slow it down to a certain point because the way he punctuates his syllables, that's part of the reason why I like him. And if he has to slow it down some because Alchemist is on this slow, delayed kind of sounding beat rhythm, then is he really producing Freddie Gibbs to success? Well, apparently, yeah, right? Grammy nomination. A bunch of people love that album. I do not hate it. I like it, but it's not one of my go-tos. So with Alfredo 2 being announced, I think we'll get something that's good. I don't think we'll get something that's better, but I would like to be surprised. I mean, it's just kind of where things are as far as Alchemist's production. So can't complain. I'm not sure when this is scheduled to drop. It just says coming soon. So we'll see. But I am anticipating it because again, it's Freddie Gibbs. Lyrically, he's just one of the dopest MCs out there spitting. He's top five for me when it comes to spitters, right? It's not just bar work. His delivery slash flow, wordplay, tendency to be serious and humorous, genuinely in his lyrics, and it always makes for great entertainment. And if you are watching this and you like, yeah, I've heard of the dude, but I ain't never really check out his music, I wouldn't say Alfredo is the first you should listen to because I just feel like he has more music, like with Madlib and other producers that are a little bit more high energy, and to me that feels more like essential, or not essential, but Quintessential Freddie Gibbs, like that's Freddie Gibbs' lane. That's his pocket. With Alchemist, it's like this is a project with this producer and it sounds this way. Which again doesn't sound bad. It's just that I'm gonna check it out because I like both. You know, both dudes, producer and rapper. But I just remember how I felt when I heard the first one, and I was just kind of like, I like it, but I don't know. I guess I expected a little bit more. So we'll see. Alfredo 2. Are you anticipating that album? Let me know. Leave your comments in the section below. And lastly, unless you've been under a rock on social media, the Clipse have social media in a chokehold. Every interview, every single, every buy the CD, buy the album here, which that vinyl looks kind of crazy. I might buy it without even hearing it, which is something I don't do. Um, every leak. So the Clipse, I think, officially have 2 singles out, right? In my opinion, both of them are fire. They also did I guess, like a listening party on a rooftop, and a number of people were filming as they played records, and they posted some of these clips, no pun intended, from the listening party. 2 clips in particular, or one in particular that's a clip. The other one, I don't think I saw it, but I heard the track. One clip, you're basically getting Kendrick Lamar's full verse from the song he's featured on the Clipse's forthcoming album, Let God Sort Them Out, right? I listened to it, but then I cut it off, right? Not because it was bad, because it was Flames and I wanted to hear it in full glory, right? With my headphones, the over ear, I want to zone in when I hear the Clipse album. But then also, I heard some of Nas's verse from the song he's featured on the album. And that sound fire. So, and I know for some people, maybe there's even more out there. But for me, I've heard the 2 singles. I've heard these, portions of these snippets from the album, which is kind of like hearing 4 songs already off the album. I don't want to hear no more. You know why? Because the internet is in a frenzy. We haven't heard one thing whack yet. Which, with that happening, and I think they're building it organically. At first, I was like, this album's too far out, man. People are going to start to lose steam. No, they're not. The anticipation is through the roof. And I don't know if the internet can handle it if the rest of the album is mid. And some people say to themselves, if those 4 joints are that hot, how can the rest of the album be mid? It happens. Sometimes all I heard was Flames. There's some other songs on the track list and you ain't hear yet. You be like, oh, I kind of don't like this one. Kind of don't like that one. It happens. So I'm posing the question, is there too much hype for this album? And I know that sounds weird to say because you want a lot of hype, a lot of anticipation for not only the return of the Clipse to hip hop, but the fact that it sounds so good. The production, Pharrell on the production sounds so good. Like, it's not just the fact that the beats knock. I could tell that this album has been mastered. It sounds like it was mastered by Dr. Dre. Because to me, that's the bar. Like, I love the album Compton, but what I love about it even more than the music, and I know a lot of people didn't really care for that album, it's the best quality I've ever heard in hip hop when I hear albums like Compton from Dr. Dre. When he did Missionary with Snoop, when he did the what is it, Casablanca with Marsha Ambrosius, like sound quality alone, it sounds crazy. And when you listen to the Clipse official singles that you could listen to on streaming services, it's the same kind of deal. It's like, yo, the and it's not just the music and the mastering, right? Because all that sounds pristine, but the Clipse are known for being articulate as hell, right? With every word, with every syllable. They make sure everything is clear from their performance. So when you match that with the mixing and mastering, and then what Pharrell is doing with the production, that plays a role, right? Like, because the songs have to be good for us to like them. But once you get past that, the sound quality, the delivery, what's being said, all of that comes into play. And this album can drop soon enough. It's supposed to be dropping on July 11th. And we probably got 3 weeks or so left till we get there. And I'm thinking we'll get one more single before then, right? It's almost as if they're doing something new school and old school at the same time. And I think it's working in their favor, right? Back in the days, you getting hit with singles or the big single and then another single as the album is dropping, and then a third one sometime after they've sold to keep the sales going. I feel like that's what they're building with this. They're building the anticipation for this album. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's been a long time since I've pre-ordered an album. Long time. I usually wait because of streaming services to listen to music. And if I like it a lot, then I go and buy it. Because I'm like, man, I'm listening to it so much, I might as well support in a monetary way. But with this, I'm like, I might as well pre-order. I want to own this. How can it be whack? That's what I'm saying. How can it be whack? You got Nas and Kendrick on the same album. Nas coming off of a dope run with Hit Boy. He also got his own rollout with DJ Premier happening that we hope is hot this year. And then Kendrick, we already know what's happened with him, with the album with GNX, the battle, the tour, the Super Bowl. It's almost like, and just the cherry on top, the fact that Def Jam passed on this project. Jay-Z said, I'm not afraid of no ghosts. And it's like, y'all could come over here to Rock Nation. And we know these artists have the freedom of expression to do this. And it sounded hot. To answer my own question, Clipse album overhyped? Yup. And it deserves to be. Because it's the best thing cooking right now. And we haven't even heard it. But I'm anticipating, some great things. Maybe there's a whole verse on there too, but who knows? What do you think? Are you anticipating the Clipse brand new album, Let God Sort Them Out? Are you a Clipse fan? Do you like the records you've heard? Do you like the snippets of features from Kendrick and Nas? Leave your comments in the comment section below. You can follow me on social media, any platform, at Vegas World INC, and you can check out my podcast in audio form on Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to review it. Spotify and wherever you get your audio podcast listening. And if you would like to see the show happening in real time, you can visit and subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. The link is in the description of this episode. Until next time, y'all, I'm not a critic. I am a fan. Peace.